If you feel like you've been losing your mind, this message just might be for you. But know this, people are going to see your switch up. They're already feeling it. They are already feeling the switch up that is in the air because you are not doing things the same way. Not anymore. People will be haunted by the way that you said no, by the way that you said enough, by the way that you said get the F out of here. Like, you don't want people being codependent on you. You don't want them clinging to you. You're trying to live a completely different life. So you're really paying attention to who has access to you right now. And I'm telling you, they're already shook by the way you're like, I'm not doing that. I don't care. If you're mad, if you don't like it, you're really valuing your time like never before. And the bad day that you've been having, the no sleep that you haven't been, the sleep that you haven't been getting, your rebirth is here. And it is time to embrace it, to embrace your sword, to embrace your wand, to embrace your magic, to embrace your light. This message will find you when you've had the worst day or two ever. It's been a time. This message will find you before bed and on the worst day ever because your emotions are spilling over. You are just like, what the frick is going on? It feels like the most unluckiest day ever. But there is a switch up approaching. Someone here could be a Gemini, Taurus, or Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You could have been terrified because maybe you saw angel number 666 today, angel number 2424, 1111, or 4444. But there is a beautiful transformation on the way if you can just cool your jets, keep your calm, because there are helpful people coming in to aid you, but you might not have the tolerance or the patience. You don't have that bubbly sunshine energy coming up out of you right now because you're like, F everything. I am over it. You feel like your boundaries are being crossed. You're saying one thing. It almost feels like a retrograde, but it's not a retrograde. You feel like you're explaining something crystal clear, and then you're getting something else. There's like there's some type of barrier between you and the people that you're trying to communicate with. This might be a sign for you to keep your boundaries up with those people. So maybe they're not supposed to be completely out of your life, but you're supposed to be very careful with them draining you. Almost like if they're going to be in your life, you really got to babysit them. So keep them at a distance. Do you know what I mean? Because you could like blink your eyes, turn around for 2 seconds, and then something is spilled. So there's a lot of spilled milk. And it's not just you. It's you trying to clean up your own mess, and then 5 other messes are going on in front of you, and you're like, why are these connected to me? Why? You might feel like you failed, like you're not doing something right, or that the distractions are overwhelming. But I promise you, you are holding all aces, you are bossing up, and what you need to know about yourself specifically is anything you pray or affirm goes out into the universe times 10. It is magnified, it is amplified. So as hard as that is to remember when you're angry or you're like, what in the frick? What? I feel like there's this outpour of emotions, guilt, shame, people trying to find things out about you. There's all of these emotions that you're moving through as you elevate because you are trauma dumping. You are releasing this. I don't feel like you're dumping it on you could be. There could be a close friend where you're like, let me tell you everything that's wrong right now. And you might need to do that. So then you can look at yourself like, oh, let me calm down. But you know what I mean? Seriously, you're at a point where you will over explain given the right person, or you will trauma dump because you are releasing that much. You are healing from that much. So this week is going to be one of the biggest shifts. You found this message because you've had it up to here, and you need to know that this is a blessing in disguise, because there are certain things that you will not be doing past this week. So there's so many cycles in front of you that are getting ready to close. There could be a job where you're like, why do I have anxiety when I want to go there? Or when I do go there, why are they not listening to me? Why are they promising me some BS? Why are they not giving me the help? Why are they not hearing me? And it is because that cycle is going to close when you're ready. There could be miscommunication problems, misunderstandings with a loved one. You're trying to get on the same page, but they're running your patience thin. That might be a cycle that you're closing. How you help other people. Oh, okay. Thank you, Spirit. I'm like, I don't know. What else do you want me to say? There is a bunch of people that you help. Family members, coworkers, bosses, because you have a lot to prove to yourself. And what you're working through is knowing that you don't got to prove nothing. You are the hardest worker. You are the best that they have. You are the best in the industry. You are the best in this family. And you're going to start seeing, I don't need to prove this to anyone, and I don't need to over-explain. So I want you to promise yourself that anytime you're texting and you want to go off and you want to just word spray it everywhere, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anytime you want to do that, stop yourself. When you're writing a whole soliloquy, 5 paragraphs, an email, it's real long, you know. I want you to remember who is pulling the strings. To scale it back. And to redirect that somewhere else because you are healing. There's just a lot of emotions that you're working through. You're feeling a lot. This is going to be a really big purge this week because whatever you've had it up to here, if it does not bring peace into your life, if it is not helping you, if the scales are not balanced, if the give and take is not equal, you're going to be moving on. You will also become more clear about how you want things to be in your life. If you want to live a certain place, if you want to date a certain somebody, if you want to work somewhere, but you are bossing up and telling people that they can fly a kite off a cliff if they don't see it your way. I'm hearing, Mother, may I? People need to be asking you, Mother, may I? Not the other way around. So Spirit is saying, you've been doing a whole curtsy, bowing, being real nice, real cutesy, real demure. You've been doing Mother, may I? For what? They're the ones that need to ask you. Hey, would it be okay if I did this? But instead it's the other way around, and it's building resentment on top of everything that you're trying to get rid of. And who is sitting with this? My best friend. Like, what in the frick is going on? I don't even know how I got here. And this is because what you are about to get access to is going to change your life. God is going to leave the keys underneath the mat for you, which is funny because yesterday's message, you had a bunch of people expecting you to leave the keys under the mat, but God is going to be leaving the keys under the mat for you to gain access to this new life, to this new cycle, to this new timeline. Good times are approaching, so take the rest of this day to just reflect. I don't even want to make this message too long because it's just supposed to be direct and to the point. Good times are approaching, so you don't got to do much the rest of the day. Especially if it's the end of the day. You're seeing this before your head hits the pillow because good times are here. But you gotta wash your hands of the cycles that you don't need. It's also going to be teaching you moderation. So what you will be reflecting on is where you need more rest, where you would like your health to be better. You're going through a lot of self-realization that you know that something good is coming. You know a lucky break is on the way, but you're the spiritual gladiator and you have to get through these obstacles. God wants to show you that you are this fairy, this dragon, this magician. You always get it up out of the mud. You are incredibly psychic and lucky. And God wants your life to be more exciting, wants you to indulge more instead of feeling resentful. Like, I got to do everything for every old body. My plate is full. I'm freaking aggravated. Spirit also wants you to have more joy and pleasure in your life. You are worthy of affection. So I want you to affirm this below. I am worthy of leisure. I am worthy of leisure. I am worthy of rest. I am worthy of affection. I am worthy of kindness. And I am worthy of respect. If you tell your family and friends how you feel, you'll find that you are on the same page most of the time, but you're just super aggravated because you're working through what is just doesn't work in your life. Like, where do you feel like other people are pulling the strings and not the other way around? Because you are getting access to a new life where you have all aces. Spirit wants you to know that there is magic in your hands. You might be helping somebody heal this week or yourself. I got a message, I think it was like a week ago, where you need to put the healing energy that you put into others into yourself and maybe one other person. You can easily transfer energy and you can also easily be drained. So Spirit wants you to remember that in this timeline, you are easily drained. You do not need to overexert, over-explain, over-expound, overwork yourself. That is vital to why you're getting resistance, why you're getting upset, because you don't need to be doing all of that. Especially if it's not being reciprocated. So you might have a lot of concerning things that you're working through and you're trying to keep a level head, you're trying to keep it positive, but you are concerned. Reflect on that concern instead of like putting a bunch on your plate so it can distract you. It's going to make you even more upset. Do you ever do that where you're like, oh, I need to sit down and really think about these health issues or this relationship or this job that I'm at? But instead, let me put put all this other stuff on my plate: laundry, running errands, dishes, helping Sally Joe down the street, instead of sitting and dealing with what I need to deal with. I've never really gotten a message like this, but you need to be done, dippity done, bippity boppity done with putting work, job, business, and other people before yourself. Spirit is calling us out right now. There might be some difficulties that you've been dealing with, but you are pushing through. You feel like you've been struggling, but the winds are about to shift. You are in for a lucky break. It could come as happy news, an exciting opportunity, a new acquaintance. And I feel like you need to pay attention to those that are making your life easier, those that are genuine, those that do care, instead of focusing or hyper-focusing on the messages and information that is upsetting, because it is a blessing in disguise. So anything that you don't want to deal with this week could be a blessing in disguise. But if you can take a step back and enjoy yourself more, watch your favorite show, take a bubble bath, I mean, really put it on do not disturb. Because I feel like other distractions are coming in where everyone is blowing up your phone. You have a lot of messages and notifications, like your phone is ringing off the hook. And it's giving you anxiety when you worked so hard on your nervous system. Now, I feel like those that have gone through a lot of trauma, PTSD or CPTSD, where it is hard for you to be in your own body, 1414 on my timer, that is something that you're always going to be working on, repairing, which is being in the spirit of forgiveness and being present. Being present and working on your nervous system, working on your vagus nerve, and keeping that reset daily, sometimes twice a day. You guys, I get so overwhelmed sometimes that I have to do a reset for my nervous system twice a day because I'm working through PTSD, trauma, CPTSD, all the things. So sometimes I got to do it morning, noon, and night. Depends on the day. It depends on like what I'm dealing with. Like on a good day, it's twice. I got to reset it. On a bad day, it's 3 times. So I see that you're going to be slowing down your breathing, being more mindful of how you are being drained. Where is your energy being siphoned? Because you are going to be super over it. You found this message because you've had quite the day. But let's go over the good things that are coming in. Holy macaroni, your training wheels are going to be coming off because this rebirth is yours. You are no longer being trampled on down here. You're no longer bending the knee to other people. They're going to be bending the knee to you. You are becoming aware of your spiritual title. You are becoming aware of your high rank. We have Justice and the Ten of Cups. You are hours away from Justice and the Ten of Cups. If you can get up and out of your head, it's almost like your ancestors are throwing certain things in your way to try to get you to stop, to try to get you to take time off. So let's say you haven't been taking time off, you desperately need it, or your boss won't give you the time off. You might be having health issues, and this is God or your ancestors saying, hey, make them give you that time off, or walk out, or leave this job, or threaten to leave. Like, you might be doing something a little bit drastic because your body is telling you that you need the rest for this new chapter. Like, you've just had to heal from the Three of Swords, feeling like you're trapped or in bondage. You just went through some things that you haven't even communicated to other people, I don't think yet. Like, maybe one person, you've told them what you've been going through, but I don't feel like many people know. So you've been moving really cautiously, like danger, danger, feeling paranoid, feeling ungrounded. And it's been a wild ride. It's been a roller coaster. But again, this rebirth, you are graduating from these lessons, from trauma, from health issues that you never thought you'd be able to work through. That you are achieving the impossible, but you aren't slowing down enough to realize that you just achieved something that you never thought you could get done, that you never thought you could get under control. This is like being in survival mode all the time, fight or flight all the time, and not knowing how you're going to get it back to normal. Like, is this just my life? Or am I going to be okay? So I feel like there's the first line of defense that is haunted already. That might be your family or the workplace. And then it might be, the people after that and down the list based on priority in your life. But as you are gaining access to the life that you deserve, you're going to be confessing your real feelings. Like, God, I'm sorry that I'm mad about so-and-so acting crazy, acting a fool. I just gotta guard. I have to protect my boundaries. I cannot be this yo-yo, being retracted and going back and forth because their life isn't together. That's another thing. So people that you're dealing with, you try to get on board, you try to get on the same page, and then they retract or they renege because their baby mama, baby daddy, their boss, their man, their woman, whoever is making their life hard, and that's somehow now your problem. You're done. So you might be venting to someone like, I know they might need my help, but I am not this yo-yo where I'm just going to go back and forth because people that don't have access to you, that are very jealous and envious of you, they try to get at you by third-party association. So like when you get a restraining order, you ever had one? I've had a couple. Anyways, it's like when you get a restraining order and they say no third-party contact. So that means that Sally Joe down the street and Bobby Sue, they cannot contact you for your crazy ex or your crazy ex-best friend. It's not happening. So there are entities and lower vibrations that are maneuvering around your loved ones. And they are trying to create third-party effery to get at you. And so you're really having to stamp put your foot in it. Like, hold on. I said that I would do this favor for you. I'm not doing this favor for them. Keep them away from me. Keep them out of my business. Like, that's how it's going. Where before, you might go back and forth on an idea or a plan or some type of communication where you agreed to something and then it gets messed with because of the person that they're dealing with. There is always an entanglement with the people that you're dealing with. So you're looking at all these third-party situations, like which ones do I even want to deal with anymore? Let's say you have a boss, okay? This boss can't stand you, right? But there is their boss that loves you. So they try to mess with you, but this person's trying to protect you. Or you have a person that you're trying to co-parent with. Okay? Let's say you and your ex, you guys co-parent amazing. But their new person tries to drive a wedge, tries to get in the way of that, tries to cause all types of whatever. You are no longer going to tango with this entanglement. Their third-party effery, you're not letting them bring that to your doorstep. People better tread lightly around you. Seriously. Because you are showing people wherever they wanted to take advantage or make things go in their favor or their way, you are not the one. If anything, you are more ferocious than you have ever been because you're tired. You're tired. You are sick and tired of people thinking that they can make you a yo-yo, that they can pull you on a leash, and that you'll just go wherever the frick. Like, just because you and your person or your ex have a great co-parenting doesn't mean Sally Sue needs to stick her nose in and make it harder or make it more complicated. You're looking at the person behind the person. And you're still going to keep your boundaries up, and you're going to be holding all of these people accountable. Like, hey, you like being buddy-buddy with so-and-so. You wanted to be married to so-and-so once upon a time. Whatever it is, you are putting your foot down. Like, I've had enough. I have had enough. And people are already catching wind of this switch up, and they're shook. So agreements are changing. Because there will either be an agreement or you will rip it up. You are going to make people appreciate the help that you extend. You are no longer leaving the key under the mat. You are no longer going to be rushing back to messages. The scales have to be balanced, and you're out here like, I will balance that mother effer myself. You're like, give me that scale. Let me just push on it myself. Because the person behind the person is on demon time, and you know this. You're like, don't get me involved with so-and-so. I don't want to know nothing about it. It's not my problem. It's not my business. You know that these people are also trying to dig up dirt on you. I can't. A lot of these people do not have the audacity to face you, so they try to have somebody else do it. So you're dealing with a lot of people that have a puppet master behind them. So, for example, if I want to deal with anyone in my family when I'm zero contact with them, that would be really hard to do because there is a puppet master behind them. That puppet master being the mother that I do not speak to, that I will stay zero contact with. So they're all sucking at the teat, and they need her for something, and I don't need her for anything. So if I want to engage, I have to know that some of what she once said, her propaganda, her smear campaign, might seep up out of their pores. Any updates I give them is going to be given right back to her and probably embellished, and then some are told even wrong. You are not going to deal with people that have a puppet master. You're just not. Like, you're really putting your foot down because people are getting real sneaky with how they want to get access to you in the dirt that they're trying to dig. They want to know if your bills are paid, if you're happy, what you have going on. Like, everybody wants to know what's going on in your life. They would never ever know that you're having the worst day ever. No, they would not. So you have people looking for receipts on you because you are stepping into your power. Like, truly. Wherever you used to not communicate before, where you're like, oh, let me not get into it with them. Let me not say anything. Let me just help them out, even though their puppet master is just a total tool or a demonic troll. Let me just help them out. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to be doing that anymore. And people are already shook because it's already started taking place. So maybe that's why you're not having that great of a day, because you're like, oh, I gotta put my foot down over here, 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 here. I'm not doing it. So I freaking love this for you guys. You guys got people shook. You could choose not to say anything. You could choose not to communicate, but you're like, no. It's almost like you're teaching people a lesson in the fact that they need to get their own ducks in a row instead of bringing these miscommunications to your door. Let's say you and your ex, you got pickup times ready for the kids, right? And then their person, the puppet master, comes in and messes up all those plans. This is like you being like, that's not my problem. So they might be standing there or sitting there shook like, oh my gosh, I can't blame collective. I have to blame my puppet master. Because a lot of these people that you're dealing with, they aren't blaming the proper people. They want to blame the person that heals, helps, and bails them out. It's not your job to bail them out. You are going to make them sit and reflect on the fact that the people that they're dealing with are not on your wavelength. They're not on your pay grade. They're not on your timeline. You will not be affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. You are being prepared for fame. You are being prepared for the spotlight. So Spirit is saying, this is good that you are practicing these boundaries because you're going to need them. Where God is taking you, where you deserve to be, these boundaries being in place are vital. You are not going to give people proximity to you through third party, because a lot of those puppet masters are your ops. They're the ringleaders of your ops. So if you used to talk often with the middle person, who could have been your brother, mother, sister, cousin, you're like, I can't do that anymore. I have to stand on business, which is I'm not doing things by their schedule, by their guidelines. It's not happening. So this is crazy. Spirit is saying, if you were wondering if these people were still stalking you, yes, they are. They're still stalking you because you are on your comeuppance, and they have not been able to find any receipts, or they haven't been able to like mess with your plans the way that you want to. They've been doing things on purpose, but not being successful in messing with your plans. So let's say it's your anniversary, right? And this person wants to try to mess up your anniversary. Instead of like taking the kids, they're not going to take the kids all of a sudden. The person you're co-parenting with, and you know it's not them, you know it's the puppet master. You're going to make them deal with the person that they need to deal with. And some people aren't really liking that, but you are also not supposed to be over generously giving to those that don't help you, to those that just take. And that, I feel like some of this annoyance that you have, or the grievances that you have, are kind of with yourself. Like, dang, I'm always helping them out. What have they actually done for me? They're not helping me out with whatever I need. So you are becoming very unapologetic. You are needing more and more alone time. Like, no, I need alone time. People might be mad at me for the boundaries that I have and the decisions that I'm making. So it's like all of these emotions you're working through where you're trying not to apologize. You're trying to show people, hey, I said what I said and I meant it. And this is also going to give you more time to reflect because you're praying for better days. You're praying for things to be better, but you need to get rid of a lot of the distractions. Some people might be mad that you're not giving them your way, but you have priorities. You have things that you're working on. And though you would normally commit to helping everybody and their little dog, you cannot do that at this time because you have your own worries. You have your own things that you're stressed out about. And those things matter. That is what you're having to realize. Like, what I'm going through, it matters. Not to say what everybody else is going through doesn't matter, but I have my own concerns that have to be addressed, that have to be dealt with. So you're dealing with a lot of people that slept on you and thought that you would always do their bidding. You would always be there to help them, that you would never say too much or over expound or make them feel bad for the help that they needed. And you're just not going to do that anymore. You become very unapologetic. And yeah, a lot of people might find it unpopular. Like, how dare them not help me? How dare them have a life? You know? You have learned the hard way that when you do that, you finish last. Every time. When you put everybody else's ish on your plate, you got way too much on your plate. You are spread beyond thin. You have monitoring spirits, those trying to dig up dirt on you, the puppet masters. Like, everybody is watching you switch up. They're watching this glow up. And they all feel some type of way about it. They're all trying to pretend like, I'm not triggered, I'm not bothered, I'm not haunted, I'm not shook. But they are. Because wherever some people really had your favor, you're putting up a boundary. So if you thought something was wrong with you, nothing is wrong with you. You are chosen, you are an earth angel, and you are figuring out your boundaries. Spirit is saying you have new beginnings coming in. You are going to be creating a game changer. I don't know how. Something that you're doing this week is major. Something that you're completing this week. I feel like it's these cycles. It is major. A new adventure will unravel because you are the game changer. So affirm it below. A new adventure will unravel because I am the game changer. Like, nobody switches up like you. Nobody. You're going to be getting a lot of opportunities because right now you're doing the digging that nobody wants to do. You're like, all right, I got to dig this stuff up off of my plate. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, wait, no, those are my crumbs. That's my dirt. That's my stuff that I need you to do. And you're like, I don't care. So all this digging that you're doing to balance the scales, to go through this transformation, is creating more space for you to prioritize yourself, for you to have the blessings that you deserve. Like, you're really having to say no. And it's like you're training yourself to do things differently. You're showing yourself where you really are the gladiator because you are choosing to do things that are hard. A lot of other people would be like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to stay this way or do this or that because it's easier. I'm just going to keep drinking. I'm just going to keep smoking. I'm just going to keep partying. I'm going to keep dating this freaking Dusty. I'm going to keep dating this opportunist. I'm just going to keep dating them because it's just easier. That's not you. That's all the other people that you're dealing with, but that isn't you. And you're looking at other people's situations too. Like, it's not my place to judge, but it's not my place to give them access. If they can't get their boundaries under control, it's not my issue. That's not my monkeys. It's not my circus. We have 555 change. Spirit is trying to bring you an encouragement right now, but it could be really hard to hear because you're shouting at people. You're like, get out of my way. Don't call me. Don't ask me. Nope, it's not happening. And Spirit is trying to get a message through. Like, hello. You are going through an initiation for your highest good. There is a reward waiting at the finish line. From it below, there is a reward waiting at the finish line, and it's mine. It is mine. You are also no longer the underdog. You could be seeing angel number 111. Listen to your intuition. You are going to be implementing long cherished ideas, whether it's how you want to work, how you want to deal with people. These are ways of living that you've always wanted to live. The self-care, the boundaries, the saying no, the having the unpopular opinion, being unfazed, being unapologetic, and yeah, just not apologizing to people. Okay. Hold on, let's see if there's anything else. And then I'm going to pull you guys out some advice. Love this. Okay. Your angels and ancestors are like best friends having your back. So whatever message they're trying to give you, I would try to silence the noise so you can hear it, because I feel like they're going to give you good news. Again, you have the 10 of Cups, the Death card, Justice, the World card. This happy family, this feeling fulfilled, it is bigger than you can imagine. The justice that you have coming in, it is bigger than you can imagine. The rebirth, the transformation, the breakthrough is bigger than you can imagine. It's going to make you happier than you could ever fathom. We have freedom of truth. Communicate honestly and be who you truly are. Do not apologize for who you are. That is what you're moving towards. That is the new habit that you're working on, is not apologizing for how you say things, who you are, because you know your intent. You're no longer talking to people that are committed to misunderstanding you. I was watching a reality star the other day that has a channel, and she was posting, and people in the comments were so rude. And they were so committed to misunderstanding her. I'm like, these are not supporters. These are people that are monitoring, they're monitoring spirits. They're being haters by being in the comments saying, oh my gosh, this and this and that. Like not taking her word at value, not taking her path or purpose at value, diminishing and dismissing all of it, and misunderstanding it to boot. So be who you truly are. And I love that she just ignores them. She knows what they're saying, but she just ignores them. She doesn't even delete the comments. She's just like, whatever. And I love that for her, because it's not easy to do when people want to pick you apart on social media and you feel driven to share something that is not only helping other people heal, but it's helping you heal as well. I cannot stand when somebody has been drugged through the mud already with life, people, places, things. And then they start healing and they start getting their whole life together, and people can't shut the F up and celebrate them for not even 1 second. I can't. I cannot. You bring hope into the equation. If people do not see that you bring hope, toodaloo, mother effer. Like, you're free to do what you want to do. And that is how you're going to move forward. You're like, yeah, I used to care about what people thought and if they were going to be mad at me when I said no, but I'm going to say what I need to say and I'm going to move forward. I know who I truly am. I don't have to over expound and prove that to you. Yeah. Another thing you're seeing is if friendship, encouragement, support, kind words is not easy for them to do, for anyone to do around you. You don't really, however your love language is, if people are not showing you that love, that loyalty, that you're of value, if you're to be used and whatever, no, you're moving forward. Holy Spirit, anything else? Yeah, I feel like your patience has been tested because you're going through this ascension. It's like growing pains. You've been going through a lot of growing pains. You're like, I'm irritated. You could have gotten into a fender bender. You could have dropped all your mail. You could have broken a package. You could have spilled water everywhere. Like, it's that type of day all throughout the day. And you're like, I'm going to disappear now. I am going to disappear now. Okay. Using my mermaid deck. Let's see if we get anything else. Awaken psychic abilities. Tune into the infinite. When you are tuned in, You are tapped in. You know exactly what you're talking about. You need to trust that you know what you're talking about. You need to trust your psychic abilities, especially if those of you that are intuitives, that are psychics. When you're talking or you're giving a message for my readers, you're learning to trust that you can listen to your heart, that you are tuning into the infinite, that you aren't just, pulling things out of your behind. Sometimes I'll channel a message so fast that I don't even know how it made sense, but it'll make sense to whoever it's for. For me, it takes me more time. I got to repeat it in my head to understand what it means sometimes, but I just have to trust that it is for whoever it's for. So I see that you guys are working through that. Like, I'm just going to trust that this is who it is for. We have divine potential. Fulfill your destiny. Be all that you can be. God is going to be showing you that you are fulfilling your destiny. You're learning how to be all that you can be. And you're just getting started. Okay. Bottom line is you are supposed to be spontaneous and a free spirit. Where do you have too much on your plate where you can't even do this if you wanted to? That is what you're working through as well. Like, okay, well, I would love to be spontaneous. I would love to do this. I would love to feel like I had more of a free spirit. So it almost feels like to access your gifts, you have to do all this heavy lifting, but it's not going to be that bad or as bad as you think. Open to abundance. Believe that you deserve. Affirm it below. I believe that I deserve. And not just deserve. You deserve plenty and prosperity. Affirm it below. I deserve plenty and prosperity. Someone here is feeling energetically, emotionally, and psychically drained. You are going to be finding ways to re-energize. That is not getting back to people, not letting them siphon, drain, commiserate. You cannot overextend yourself this week. And you might have already made all of these obligations, but you might have to figure out how to get out of them if you were going to prioritize yourself. Okay. And this is what's going to put you in celestial alignment, where you feel confident, like, oh my gosh, I did that. It was not easy, but I did it. Okay. I feel like that's it, but let's see if I get anything from here. Whoa. Their prayers are useless. Divine intervention, unforgiving abomination. Somebody might act like they're praying for you and their prayers are fake. I don't know who that's for. I don't feel like that's for everybody, but you'll know if that's for you. Maybe somebody said, oh, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to keep you in my prayers. I'm going to keep you in my thoughts. And you're just like, are they though? I don't know. You are going through an energy shift and it's just lighting up. You're like so colorful right now. I don't know. I feel like you talked to somebody today and they said, I'm going to keep you in my thoughts. I'm going to keep you in my prayers. And you were like, because maybe it was something that they don't normally say to you. And if it wasn't and you second guessed it, like your prayers will do more than theirs. I don't know. Who needs to hear that? Okay. Okay. Enjoy the silence. This is your last bit of advice. Enjoy the silence. Truly, because people will try to rattle you and just bring so much noise to your doorstep. Nothing is wrong with you. You are going through a switch up. You are done dealing with third-party puppet masters. You are done dealing with third-party association. People that want to make your life hard through somebody else. You're done doing everything for everybody and their little dog. You're also done distracting yourself in any way, shape, or form. So I hope that helped you guys. Let me know how this message resonated. Don't forget to smash the you know what. Hit the bell, duh. You don't want to miss out. All important links are in the description box. Thank you guys for all of your beautiful comments, your donations. Thank you for joining Patreon or members only. However you show your support or even hyping up the video. Thank you. I love you guys. Okay, I will see you in the comments. If you made it all the way to the end of this message, let's see. Drop the scales down below if you made it all the way to the end, because justice is here. All right, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye.